I'm speaking to someone whose core purpose is connected with love. I'm speaking to someone who is very caring, very loving, very wanting to help others, wanting to help the world. You might be a healer, you might be an artist. I'm seeing a pink flower. I'm seeing this blooming of this pink flower. And I feel like the core message that I want to share with you today is Spirit is saying that there is nothing wrong with you, that there is nothing, any way that you've been treated in the past where you might have been taken advantage of, where people might have dismissed you, where your love or your kindness has been taken as weakness. I almost want to say to you that you are here to experience and express love in the world. You are a conduit of love. I just feel that message so strongly. And I want to say to you that you have experienced the opposite of love or the absence of love from certain ways that you've been treated as a means to understand and deepen your purpose of being a loving frequency and a loving being. So this message today wants to be more of a reminder. I feel like whoever I'm speaking to, this is like what I'm hearing is the soul just needs to hear this today. Like you just need a reminder that your capacity to love is your superpower. And more than that, it's not even your superpower, it's your purpose. And I want to say that any time that you have come face to face with the absence of love, it is only strengthening and deepening your own ability to love yourself and to love others and to love the world. I really feel like I'm speaking to someone who unconditional love is your purpose. Like it's a strong part of your purpose. And I feel like sometimes you might act as a mirror for people, where maybe people don't want to face certain things in themselves, and you being in front of them or you being in relationship with them or you sharing certain things that you see triggers them. And then they kind of come at you. Some of you might be empaths. And so you pick up on things. And I feel like you're someone that like really just loves, like you can see the potential of someone because you connect with someone's soul. You don't just connect with their human. You don't just connect with their behavior. You connect with their freaking soul. And so sometimes you can connect with someone's soul. You can feel that they're a good soul, but they might do things that hurt you or indirectly hurt other people, whether it's conscious or not. And that's something that you struggle to get your head around because you can feel that they're a good person. And I almost want to say to you, this is because you're a loving spirit. I really, really feel like, and you might know this, you might not. Maybe this is just a reminder. Maybe this is a synchronicity. I'm not sure. But it just feels like you're meant to hear this message today that you are meant to love. And that sometimes we experience the absence of something or the contrast or the shadow of our purpose in order to deeply or more deeply understand what that purpose is and how that shows up in the world. I feel like you're someone that might have had to learn to forgive and also to understand the difference between your boundaries being crossed and your ability to be unconditionally loving. And that is a hard path to walk. I know from personal experience. But I almost want to say to you that sometimes people crossing your boundaries is actually not to do with your lack of boundaries. Sometimes it's actually because you are an unconditionally loving person. And there is something in that experience that brings you closer to yourself. You get to see that there is nothing about you that is wrong or bad or less than. You get to experience in those moments that if anything, you really feel the immensity of you as wholeness. Like I feel like I'm speaking to someone that knows that they are oneness or unity in physical form. And you will go through experiences where sometimes in the past people have not treated you as such. This is because when people feel the lack of purity in themselves, they try and hijack that purity from other people. You feel like a very pure soul to me. I also feel like you might be connected with spring. I keep seeing this season of spring. Maybe you're in that season right now where things are blooming or you're nurturing certain seeds or there is this new beginningness. There is this freshness. Like the lambs being born in spring. Maybe you are feeling this new beginning, this new adventure. Maybe you've come into this newness within yourself, within your sense of self. For some of you, this just could be maybe your favorite season. Like you really connect with the energy of spring. I feel like for some of you, like your soul is like spring. Like you move around the world like spring. People feel that you bring this newness into their life. You help them see things from a different perspective. You bring this openness, you bring this spring in your step, this bubbly energy or this loving energy that maybe they've not experienced before. And there's something so beautiful and powerful in that. And I almost want to say that you are awakening your power. Oh, wow. This feels so delicious. You are awakening your power. I feel like you're blending your capacity to love with your sense of power. And maybe that's why this boundary piece was just coming in before. People overstepping your boundaries has been how you've been able to access your power. And now you have this sense of groundedness in yourself, this safety within yourself, this solidity within yourself, this kind of, I'm not putting up with that anymore type of inner authority is what I want to say. You've really like strengthened your inner authority, and it's only strengthening your capacity to love, because now you can have this unconditional love whilst also having those boundaries, or that kind of, what's the word, like self-groundedness and authority where people can't push you around like they might have been able to in the past. Like I'm seeing a vision of a leaf blowing in a wind. Like before, you might have been, you kind of go with the changes of the wind. Like people might inspire you to go one way and inspire you to go to another way, without your kind of sense of, well, is this what I want though? Like it's kind of like a lack of sense of your own agency and maybe trusting the agency of others over your own knowing. And I feel like now you're entering this season where you know you're a loving person. Your love and your care, like it's required. It is required. The world needs that love that you have to give. But you also have it paired with this power of, I know where to give my energy to. And I know not to overextend myself, not to be responsible for things, people, or experiences that are not my responsibility. I just get to release that weight from my shoulders, and I get to just move through the world as a loving being, that is my purpose. And I get to feel the power and the solidity and the strength that comes from being fully rooted in who I am. People can't push you around like they used to. That's just what I keep hearing. And I just keep hearing that this needs to be a reminder today. I almost feel like you've been through a big journey. Like I want to say, look how far you've come. Just take a moment to look back and recognize how far you've come. From who you've been to who you are right now in this moment. And just indulge and bathe in that beautiful, delicious energy. That energy of expansion, of growth, of wisdom, of lessons learned. And I feel like you're stepping into a season of answered prayers. There might be certain prayers, certain things that you've asked from life, from the universe to guide you, to show you. And it feels like you're in this season of becoming where those prayers will be answered. Those prayers will be answered. And it feels like a very beautiful light energy. Like you've really connected with your light. You're someone that is just a light being. That's just your natural state. And people and the world has kind of put these fragments, like I'm seeing like a stained glass window where there's certain aspects of the stained glass window that are like blacked out. And so your light hasn't been able to fully shine, like the full picture of who you are hasn't fully been there because there's been these blacked out fragments. But now I feel like you've arrived at this place where you've kind of scratched those black fragments out, and now your light is more able to be shone through this stained glass window, and the full picture of who you are can now be fully seen and fully welcomed in a way that maybe wasn't previously welcomed. I keep being drawn to this beautiful opening of a flower. You're in a season of blooming, and also in a season of, like, I'm seeing it actually in the process of petal by petal opening. And I feel like it's just saying to me that you're really understanding the step-by-step journey of what's got you to who you are today. And the ability to open yourself and to actually fully bloom and trust yourself in a way that previously you would have had doubts around, or you would have been looking to other people for the answers. You're someone maybe that has looked on social media, or looked to your partner, or looked to some sort of authority figure for the answers or for the permission. And I feel like now you're entering this season of the permission is always within. I am my permission slip. It's kind of this, I'm feeling this energy of like, it's all me, baby. I am the permission slip. I bloom when I want to bloom. I can isolate when I want to isolate. I am in my power to pick and choose how I navigate and experience and express myself in the world with this immense energy and love that I have to carry. And it feels like a very Like you've just figured out your own capacity. You figured out your own capacity. People can't hijack your energy in the same way that they used to. And so you're going to be experiencing this big change in the way that people relate to you, the type of people that you call in, the type of experiences you connect with. Oh my God, I have so much bubbling energy in me right now because I almost feel like it's a bit of swag. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if that resonates with you, that there's this kind of like a bit of a swag of like, I know myself. Like I know what I have to bring to the table. Pull up a seat. I'm ready. I know what I have to bring to the table. And it's just this really beautiful overcoming of all of that questioning of self-doubt, of self-worth, because you were in places where they made you feel unworthy. You were in situations in career or relationships, but I do feel like relationships is a really big theme for you in general. Like I feel like you learn who you are through your relationships. Like relationships are a big catalyst of your soul's purpose here. So I'm specifically being drawn to that. I feel like you were in situations, I'm seeing like a closed door, that you maybe couldn't see the way out, that you couldn't see that you are this actual divine, full, blooming, expansive, white light being. And there were situations and relationships where you just couldn't see that. Like the door was closed is what I'm saying. Maybe some of you have felt trapped in relationships before where maybe you've put the authority onto your partner or onto your friend or onto whoever it is. And now you've taken that authority back. Isn't that cool? Isn't that a really cool feeling? Like I'm feeling this like badass type of energy. I feel like the word badass sounds really funny in an English accent as well. I feel like it sounds better in an American accent, badass. But you've accessed this energy now. I feel like there is just a strength. It's kind of like this quiet strength, quiet power. Like you might move about your day to day where you're kind of like, you just know you've got it. Oh, I love this energy. That's just what I'm feeling like. You just know you've got it. If someone tries to hook into that energy, hack that energy, hijack that energy, you're just like, I've got myself. I know when to close off. I know when to open up. I know when I can just hold space for someone's behavior without being so deeply connected with their soul and their potential that I'm bypassing the behavior. Because you're someone, your ability to love is like you could be with someone. That's why people love being around you. You could be with someone who's doing inappropriate behavior or behavior that you don't agree with or you don't like, and you can still have love and forgiveness for them and also close the door. Does that make sense? Like you can also be like, I forgive you. I see you as your soul. I understand that this is just certain behavior adaptations you've had to learn to cope with trauma. And I can also decide whether I choose to be in this space with you or whether I choose to walk away, because it's not my responsibility to fix. And that's been the big shift, is that you realize that you're not there to fix, you're not there to save. You get to be that unconditional loving presence for people. You get to be forgiveness incarnate. And if people change in the presence of that energy, then beautiful. But it's not your responsibility to change them. It's not your responsibility to show them their lessons. Karma does that. Life does that. That's not your responsibility. You trust karma now. You can close the door. You can say, look, I have a lot of love for you. I have forgiveness for you. And I also choose to not continue walking this path with you. And you can close the door with integrity and strength and authority without feeling like, oh my God, have I just abandoned them? Do they need me? Like in the past, you might have questioned all of that. Now I feel like you can close the door and just be like, they're just on their own journey and I'm just being in my energy. Whether they vibe with that and they open up and they expand and they liberate themselves in my energy, or whether they decide to attack me for it, I get to choose whether I stay or whether I go. It's no longer me feeling a requirement to stay so I can complete the journey and fix someone. Life does that. Karma does that. I genuinely believe that that's not our responsibility to get revenge, to teach someone a lesson, to get validation. None of that matters. Like life is going to give karma. It doesn't matter. Like don't overextend yourself or overstay. Oh, that's what I'm hearing. Some of you might have overstayed in relationships because you feel like it's not come to completion yet. You feel like it's not been resolved. They've not been fixed. And there's a part of you that thinks, I can do this unconsciously. You're realizing now that that's just not your place. And actually, sometimes the biggest form of love for someone else is to shut the door and say, this is for you to figure out. I'm not going to enable this behavior anymore, or enable these patterns of you needing to be saved by someone, because I trust that you have the power within you to figure this out. So I'm going to lovingly close the door and send you peace, love, and strength, everything that you need from spirit. And I'm going to trust that maybe that is the very thing that you need to actually up level into who you know you can become, to make different decisions, to behave differently, to make different choices, to move more integral through the world. That feels really important. I just keep seeing this vision and this signal. I keep hearing the word signal of doors opening and doors closed. I feel like you know the doors to open, you know the doors to closed. Some of you might still be in this journey of figuring that out. I feel like for some of you watching this is like a very fresh realization. I feel like you're watching this video being like, oh my God, is that what it is? Is that the change I've been through? Because I can feel it, but I can't quite put articulation or understanding or comprehension to it. And I almost feel like there's this excitement of like, that's what it is. I just know the doors to open, the doors to close. That's why I feel the pull to not speak to that person anymore. And it's almost like maybe this message is a bit of a permission for you to not feel that you need to overstay or overextend. Like that time of being that version of yourself is just over. That's just what I'm hearing. It's just over because you have such a beautiful energy that needs to be protected. And I don't mean protected from a place of, you know, sometimes if we affirm, I need to be protected from this, then we're also indirectly affirming that we're not safe. And so I don't want you to move into that territory, but I mean more so that you have such a beautiful divine energy that I want you to feel like you can be the authority of, that you feel like you can be in power with this energy, and just know that being such a loving individual and being such a loving divine being, people might try and take that from you. They might try and hack into your purity. That maybe is something that you're just going to experience in this lifetime. Maybe not, maybe. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But I want to say to you, like, just know that you get to decide where you channel your energy, where you give and invest your energy, your time, and your attention into. And I just really feel like that's been awakened in you. And I feel like your power as a loving being and your purpose is going to like amplify tenfold right now, because you're matching this beautiful divine love that you have with your ability to be in power of it, with your ability to know when to open the door, close the door, when to protect, when to open up. And that's just like, I'm just seeing this like recipe for like expansion. I feel like you might be invited into new opportunities or offers right now. I feel like someone might extend a hand to you. I'm seeing this vision of someone extending a hand to you. Because I feel like you've been through this journey of really navigating life alone and trying to figure out certain things alone. And I just feel like the world is now gonna help carry you along this journey. Like you don't have to do it all by yourself. And I really do feel like this personal power piece, this inner authority, was just the missing piece. It was the missing piece. And you've been through the ringer and you're coming out the other side feeling like, I know how to navigate with this now. I no longer judge myself for my capacity to love so fully and so completely. I no longer question it. I no longer feel like I need to manage it or shut down from a place of survival. I just know that I get to decide. I get to work with my energy, my capacity, my openness, my closeness, my socializing and my solitude. It's like you're finding this balance maybe for the first time. And this balance is going to create a beautiful balance with the way that you give to the world and the way that the world gives back to you. Makes sense? That's what I'm really feeling. Beautiful, beautiful. This feels complete, guys. This feels complete, team. If you are new to this channel, I do readings like this on a weekly basis. So if you feel like you want to hang around, click the subscribe button to be part of the community. If you are a returning viewer, hi, welcome. I love the fact that you're here. I love reading your comments, and I'm just really appreciative to be able to read for you, to be able to read for your energy and what you're going through. So yeah, I just love the connection here. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. And I will just see you on the next video. All right, bye-bye for now.